Edo State Deputy Governor Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa and other leaders of the All Progressives Congress have expressed confidence that the Supreme Court will deliver judgment in favor of the APC and Governor Monday Okpebholo. The leaders stated this while speaking with journalists in Abuja Wednesday, shortly after the Supreme Court hearing of the appeal by Aso Ighodalo and the PDP. On Wednesday, 2nd of July 2025, a five-man panel of justices of the Supreme Court entertained the appeal filed by the PDP 2024 governorship candidate Dr. Aso Ighodalo and the People's Democratic Party. The prayers of the appellants is that the Supreme Court should overturn the decision of the lower court and declare Aso Ighodalo as the winner of the September 21, 2024 Edo governorship election. The appellants had argued that the decision of the trial tribunal and the Court of Appeal was a miscarriage of justice. Whereas INEC, Senator Monday Okpebholo and the APC, who were on the same page, said the Supreme Court should follow the decision reached by the Tribunal and Court of Appeal to dismiss the appeal of the PDP. They said that it was not enough for the appellants to allege that the judgment of the lower court was perverse, but must clearly spell it out from the records of the court, because the appellants only carried out expression of non-compliance and could not prove it. They said, how can a petitioner who called only 5 polling unit agents to testify and who did not demonstrate overvoting in an open court but relied on final written address to prove non-compliance and overvoting, and still want the Supreme Court to declare them winner in an election they claimed to be invalid? Speaking to journalists at the end of the hearing, Edo State Deputy Governor Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa said from the argument canvassed, it was obvious that the PDP case was dead on arrival, as the facts and arguments speaks for themselves.
I want to thank the judiciary. It's the hope of a common man. We've gone through first stage, second stage, this is the third one. And it's not a news to us. We won the election clearly, but the opposition decided to drag us all the way to Supreme Court. But by the grace of God, the judgment has been reserved, and we are very, very hopeful that it's going to be in our favor.
On their part, former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shuaibu, State Chairman of APC, Imperial Jared Tinebe, former member representing of your federal constituency, Honorable Barrister Mosede Benedion, and the Edo State Legal Advisor of the APC, Barrister Stephen Okoro, expressed optimism that the Supreme Court will uphold the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo.
My little experience that I've had through litigation, this is a done deal for Senator Monday Okpebholo, because I've been issued from the lower court to Court of Appeal. You see that beyond being inconsistent, you cannot be challenging a result of a whole state and you'll be bringing only 5 witnesses to come and defend that. It's an abomination to, as far as electoral law is concerned, it's an abomination. You must be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And one of the ingredients, one of the major things you must deal with is to advance witnesses to defend what you are alleging. And in their own case, it was not like that. So they are repeating themselves. What they did in the lower court, they did the same at the Court of Appeal. They are advancing it at the Supreme Court.
Well, you know, the Supreme Court is always very brief when you come to matters of appeal. And the same thing that were canvassed at the Court of Appeal is the same thing that they are canvassing here. And it is clear, you heard our lawyers very clearly. You must be consistent when you are filing anything in court. Consistency matters. And you cannot be in one breath saying that election is invalid and you are asking for you to be declared the winner of such an election. And when you heard all those arguments now, you don't need a rocket scientist to tell you where the pendulum is swinging. And I'm very convinced that our lawyers have done a very good job.
To me, it has been evident from the onset that we are clearly going to win, and the judgment, I'm sure, will give validity to what took place during the gubernatorial elections. We have no doubt about it, and our counsel has put in a very good argument to sustain such, and therefore we look forward to the judgment, and I'm sure that we will be celebrating, yes, and I'm happy that I'm on the winning side. And the governor, I must commend him because he has done excellently well he hit the ground running despite all the challenges with the various court processes. Been able to stay focused and remain focused on delivering the dividends of democracy to the people of Edo State.
Both the petitioners, or what we call the appellants, and respondents. Now, both parties, they have canvassed their issues, and the dates now reserved for judgment. Now, what the rest appellants did was that they are challenging the judgment of the appeal court to say, oh, appeal court, people erred, now upholding the cross petition of the governor. And so they looked at it and said, look, this is an issue that has to do with dumping materials, dumping of exhibits. And the court now said, well, at the Court of Appeal level, Court of Appeal now said it was just a mere academic exercise and their petition or their appeal was thrown out. Dissatisfied with this appeal or the appeal, the appellant, as the PDP, came back to the Supreme Court on same issues to canvass an issue that is a mere academic exercise. I don't know what they want the Supreme Court to do. Whether they're going to manufacture other things from heaven, I don't know. But so far so good. We are good to go. APC is good to go. The government is good to go.
As the leader of ASAN race, I didn't think we were going to get to this stage because the Edo people spoke and it was very loud and clear. I expected my younger brother as well to have seen that we are only some people and we understand that only one person can govern at the same time. Well, he had decided to exercise his own fundamental human rights by getting to this stage. And I do not expect anything strange because the lower court have laid a very solid foundation that they don't have any case. So, and I expected that after this, he will come and join his younger one to move Edo forward.
The respondents in the case said the grounds of the petition are entirely issue of non-compliance and therefore proof must be from polling units to polling units. They said the appellants complained of 765 polling units, but they called only 5 witnesses from the polling units and the remaining 14, making 19 that they called, were not polling unit agents but spread across wards and local governments. The Supreme Court is expected to communicate to parties on the date and time for the judgment. The Supreme Court is the final stage in this petition. Best Orator reporting for BTV News.